Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you're probably hearing my computer going roar right now, but don't worry too much about that. Here, oh, it's like my music decided to already start without me. Oh, joy. How dare you? Don't do that to me. Anyways, with that being said, let me see if I can go ahead and pause this real quick. That's what I'm going to do. Boom. Alrighty. Here today, you're going to be watching me make some mountains. Yes, we already know you can go into the game store and make your mountains. I get it. Cool. Alright. But here, when you're here, you know what you're saying. I would like for you to definitely watch how I actually just go through and just make some quick, simple, easy, like mountains and stuff. No textures involved or anything yet until I actually get into the other program, which is going to be Unreal Engine, and basically go through and let's see, go through and basically just start slapping textures on that way. So we're probably gonna go through, do a whole bunch of different buildings and all that stuff too as well. So here today it's gonna be just pure nothing but modeling experience all day today. Okay. Yes, this is the boring part. Yes, it will lulls you to sleep. You will go but if you're me and you're doing it, then it won't be so, boring. Anyways, thank you for coming out to this stream. And anybody that does come in new, please be sure to say hello. It means a whole lot. If you say hi, it means a lot. And I truly appreciate it if you do so. And if you happen to have any questions or anything of that sort, leave it in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer the chat. No problem. No questions asked. What a pun. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and we are going to go to this Mixcloud. I listen to a lot of my music on Mixcloud because it's royalty free, and YouTube is not going to be on that whole tip of, hey, you got this music from copyright strict. So thank God that there's other platforms. So I'm gonna probably play this music for an hour, and I'm gonna try to find what other music as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and we will go from there. Yeah. All right. Cool. Sweet. So enjoy the fragments while I'm actually over here doing all this 3D art and all that stuff as well. And yeah, you guys are awesome. I truly appreciate you coming by, stopping by, and I'll get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Fragments. It's September and I'm your host, Mr. Jones of the Disclosure Project. Tonight I'm going to be playing some promos that have been sent from various international house record labels, and I'll also be playing a couple of oldies in the mix as well. Tonight should be fairly bouncy with some disco elements in there, so hopefully you'll all enjoy that. Anyway, let's get the show going.
Oh, welcome to my stream. Glad to see you here today.
say, homeboy?
Hold on, I'll be right back. I thought I heard the door. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. Dang. 7 notifications. Dang, is it really that bad? %38, 37. If you guys happen to notice the frame drop, please let me know. Ooh, excuse me. Alright, hopefully you're enjoying the music, and let me go ahead and turn it down if it is too loud. And yeah, go ahead and keep watching me just be over here doing my thing. The rock detail on here. So that way it looks more of like a nice big gigantic rock that has like this nice, like, you know, curved, like cliffside edge look to it. Hello and welcome to the stream. I truly appreciate you being here. Thank you for coming out. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Hey, hey, welcome. Just working on mountains and stuff right now. I will be doing buildings probably within the next couple of hours, probably like 1 hour. So like after like an hour and 30 minutes, I'm gonna probably get into doing the actual actually doing more city buildings and stuff, because I have this really big ambitious project that I'm working on right now. And if you're enjoying everything right now, you're enjoying the music, please let me know. And also be sure, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. You will be totally awesome for that. I truly appreciate it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it. I normally stay silent about these things, but if you have any questions about what I'm doing, let me know in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. too bad. Not too bad. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one. probably might be too much polygons, but it won't be too much for game engine, but here it might be a little too much. Only if I do this though. Start this stuff here. Check mode. Go ahead and reduce this. So when we reduce it, it might actually free up a little bit of the computer, which will be pretty awesome. Yep, see, there it is. I think I'll go ahead and keep it at this. And what I'll do, I'll move this over. Get rid of this one right here that has the thing. Bada bing, bada boom. Still got all the details that we want on there. Hey, hey, welcome. Hey, what's up? OJ, yeah! Yeah, right now I'm creating a whole bunch of mountains and stuff right now. Hey, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you, man. How you doing today? You, man? Yeah, so right now, what I'm doing, I'm just creating a lot of the, a lot of the mountain and stuff. And let's see. What else? Basically going through, just cleaning all this stuff up and making our assets fit, so that way when it gets to game engine, it doesn't bog it down or tear it down or whatnot. Oh, hello, brother. So yeah, right now I'm playing all different types of music. I'm using Mixcloud right now for the music that I got right now. But if you happen to have any video game suggestions or video game music, I have no problem playing that whatsoever. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go to script. Definitely a lot more easier. Clean this all up. Of course. Alright, so with this piece right here, I'm gonna start making the racetrack, and then basically just start putting just minor details on there. So that way it makes it look like it's going to be like a float type of ordeal. We're going to go through, we're going to make a bunch of lines right here. So that way when I go to combine these assets together, I can actually bend and move it with a bend tool. I'll show you that in a minute, but with a bend tool, and they'll be able to actually start to bend and move to the way of the actual track. So you'll see in a sec. Always keep your geometry straight too. Otherwise the effect won't work.
That was another edition of Fragments over and done with on Proton Radio. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed all those tunes there. The track list is down there on the page for you to check out if you're interested in any of them. And thanks to all the labels who sent all those tunes in. So, see you next month. Bye.
Play number 6. Hey, have I actually been online that long? Woo! First hour, we made it. Let's go. So, what we're gonna add some subdivisions to these before we start to multiply them.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Jones of the Disclosure Project, and you're listening to Fragments on Proton Radio. It's October, and we're doing a session
two
tonight
at a time for each one right here.
Promos that have been sent to us over the last month. I'd like to thank all the record labels and artists that have sent in some of the classic tracks this evening, and I hope that all of you listening enjoy the show tonight. Got a lot of deep stuff, some techie, and a little bit of soulful house.
So now that we got that intact,
so without any further chit chat, let's get going.
Let's see. We're gonna go through and basically just copy, duplicate. From this piece that we got right here as well. Nah, we're gonna go ahead and just copy, duplicate this. Squeeze this in. Pull this up tighter. Like so. So now when we actually have the cars racing on the track, you'll be able to, we'll have some borders for it to penetrate and hit. To create this cool effect though. We're gonna name this piece Glass. This one light. Squeeze this in like so. We're gonna make this the floor main light. But what we'll do though, we'll get rid of this piece. All these bare bone ones that we got right here, right? Grab and we'll slide. Make them the thicker ones right here. So now this will be light and this will be the support. So we're gonna go ahead and name this track piece. And you know what? Before we actually start, right? So in order to always kill some time, you know, and this is what I normally do. I always start by you know, it kind of looks like a mattress frequently, but normally I'm not even supposed to do this part right here first. But what I normally do, I go and I add the material first, like so. So that way, you put the light material on there. So what you named it as. So this one's the main light, and then this one right here will be the actual main color. So we'll go ahead and do new material, and we'll name this. Just do the main color right there. Put this as a. Always default it to black material because in-game engine you can always just change it after, you know what you're saying. So if you didn't like the main color from this program, all you gotta do is just change it in the other one, and it makes it look a lot more better too. So go ahead and just name that black material 1. So just so you know, this is the material right here, and then you just simply change it from here to there. So that's how I'm able to change the color and the material. Let's see here. Press the color. Sometimes it wants to work, it don't, but if that always happens, just go right here. Boom. The viewport also shows it here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this is my light material. So I'll just call this. So that way you know. I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. So, and the reason why you want to name everything, especially in game engine, is because if you don't name everything, you'll go through and try to, you know what you're saying, you'll try to change it to something that you don't want, or you know what you're saying. This game, always name your stuff, so in that way people know, okay, I know what this is and I know what that is, and nobody's ever angry at you, because that's one way of making enemies. If you ever happen to want to be a part of that industry, is make sure you name everything. Otherwise they'll sit there and be like, this dude is so amateur, he just sucks at what he does, man. Yeah, that's something that you don't want. So, anyways, let me go ahead and keep on going. That was a side note that I had to put on there for now. So, oh, and by the way, Player Essence, thank you for visiting my channel. It is epic that you came through here today. I'm glad that you like the content that I'm actually doing right now. And you know, me and the cool guy, we gonna get this done. You're gonna see a whole lot more too. So let me go ahead and move this out the way, because now that you know that I'm doing this stuff right here, let's go ahead and keep on going. Alright, so right now we're going through putting just the main colors on the track and all that stuff. So if you want different colors for the track, you can do that. You know what you're saying. For the most part, I like different colors because it just makes it look like it's gonna just be like that, you know, like, whoa, that's trippy, man, kind of vibe track to it. So, and plus I want it to look kind of close to futuristic as possible. So, and this is where, you know, you can add all the details and stuff that you want on there from this bare bones right here. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put a glass material on all these right here. This glass material is awesome. Ooh, excuse me. Material. Use V.A.D.C material. We're gonna name it glass, of course. So in that way, call it track grass. Track glass, my bad. Track glass. Once, on that way, they know, like, okay, this is glass. We're gonna make sure as such. And go from there. Like probably like this nice weird off green color. Go ahead and do that. And oh, as you can see, was that nice green color that we have there. And just go ahead and turn up the refraction. So now in the other render it should just pop up. There it is. You now see that it's doing its thing. So if you want it to be foggy, just keep it like this, like so. That's for reflectivity. But if you want that fog glass, you just go through, turn down these two. Like so. So now you can see that. Because in the other program, it's going to make it look a lot more cleaner. So in here, this is just like for previs stuff. I do get to talking a lot, so if I do, and if I happen to bore you, I'm so sorry. But, you know, a lot of this stuff I went through in college. It was kind of boring, but at the same time for me, it's not, because you know, it's like it's that niche. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to get all this stuff done. So let's see, we got this. Name this a new light material. Just give us like a simple name. Click just blue. Can do so it's not like pure blue. Just make it like this nice fog blue, where it's not too much blue on top. Because for me, textures are pretty cool. You know, if you want to go through and you know mess with that stuff, and we probably will be able to do exactly that as well. All we have to do is just unwrap these, and then you can just slap the texture on there. It'll actually have the design that you want on there too as well, so that way it's not way too much texture work, because textures, believe it or not, actually take more room from your actual GPU than anything, which I found very nuts when I was doing a whole lot of this work. But just as long as you go through and you unwrap everything, man, I'll show you that process real quick. You know, unwrap everything, and then you'll even have way more wiggle room to play with. So I'll just have this right here. Now we got this piece is ready. You know what I'm saying, what we're gonna do, so that way we can make the outline different from the inside, the bare bones, almost kind of like a bed, like, you know, thing. Just gonna go ahead and highlight all these. Remember, like I said, when you go into another program, you can just change the color entirely to a whole different ballpark. Let's go from there. There we go. Black matte 2. Put that there, so now we'll pop out. So now you take this light material right here. There's another piece. This bottom one. awesome. Material on here. So we got the lights, we got this right here. And remember, in game engine, you can just change it to anything you want at this point. But you always want to just put those materials on there and make sure you have that all just set and done on the side now. Let's go ahead and give these existing material. Jock one of these. We're going to take this one right here, grab it, rotate, so right on top. So that way it makes it feel like, you know, what you're saying, they're actually racing on, like, you know, this crazy like thin translucent glass. So that way it's like not all light hitting you, especially when you go put it in the game engine. This one's a solid. What I want to do is make sure that when you go to use the bend tool for all this stuff, that all this stuff right here will match. So I'm gonna have to do. It's a little tedious. But since we got the color on there, we don't have to worry about all that, right? All we gotta do is this. Make one piece small. Nice border, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and turn down the music. Hopefully it's not too loud, just let me know. Copy this one, right? Make this big. Now that we're almost done with the track, saying we got this nice translucent glass on top, got the light in between the middle. We'll go ahead and make these borders right here a little bit more thicker. Just like that. And we'll work on one. say if you want to widen out the thing and have it to where it's gonna clamp and grab on the side of the mountain, you just make like this weird, like this real cheap. I ain't gonna say cheap, but you know, real quick. You know, clamp that holds onto the side of the mountain, so that way it makes it feel like, you know, it's kind of safe, but at the same time it's not. Nice little, you know, offset on there, so that way you can get that futuristic look. And press the G key and just move it in a little bit. Like everything else, take that insert outside tool. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to 10, and we'll just add that on there, so that way you can adjust to the actual inside of the track as well, or you can get kind of close to it, if you understand what I mean. Said and done. Alright, around it. Pull this out a little bit. There we go. Space. Still gotta go through and do it anyway. Thought I could do it the fast way, but it's normally supposed to be able to get all of it, but sometimes it just doesn't. Luckily we did this by threes, because otherwise if it was a little bit more than that, then some ouch town. Just like that. Done and done. Alright. Now that we're done with that, what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this side right here. Move this strong side, sturdy side over this way. And we're going to rotate it y-axis. Full 180. 180 degrees. Boom. Damn, that was loud. Woo. That's guacamole this morning. My bad. Oops. Now, that being said and done, now we got the thick borders right here on the outside of just this mountain. We'll be able to take them from right here. I'll put them on these ones right here too as well. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, we made it an hour and a half way in. Time flies when you're having way too much fun. especially doing 3D modeling. I don't care what anybody says. To me, this is my joy and my pastime, and I really enjoy doing this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and also make this the same material as well. All right. All right. So, one part about this one is I'm just gonna go through and do that. All right. So if ever you encounter a problem where you have to do one side and it's giving you a hard time doing that, I normally use this select tool right here. Size it down to the size you need it at. Make sure it's not getting on the other side. Good there. Go ahead and finish. Always check and make sure. So, if you are here new to this channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. We will be doing a lot more 3D stuff here in the future. We're going to go ahead and keep always streaming. And like I just said, it is a huge thing that Player Essence came here to this channel today. That man delivers top quality news, positive news, and marketing numbers. Because you know what? Without those marketing numbers and stuff, not only just marketing numbers, but just news, predictions, and all that stuff, his channel is very entertaining, and I truly appreciate it. But you know, sometimes, you know, like with all big channels, they do have a lot of haters that come through and try to just ruin the vibe for everybody, which sucks. Because, you know, we're like, yeah, you know, this is awesome. And then you got those guys on the other side like, oh, I hate this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, it just be busting me up sometimes. Is, man, they really be trying to argue with this dude about video game logic. And it's like, how can you argue with somebody that's been playing video games for a very, very long time? You know what I'm saying? And then try to make yourself seem right, even though you're way younger than them and very inexperienced at playing a lot of video games. So it's like, it's just nuts. Like, some of the debates that he had on his channel too were just absolutely nuts. Like, man, there was this one dude that was going, wait, all the freaking time. You're gonna let me talk, you let me talk. You know, like, he was trying to sound all authoritative. And I'm just sitting over there just like, oh god. Man. And then also, he's also got other channel folks as well, like Spawn Wave channel and RGT and all them. They're pretty good channels too. I enjoy watching them as well. But you know, and that's just a little side note of some of the people that actually watch the stream. So the fact that he came to this channel and actually is watching me do this stuff is pretty phenomenal. And I'm like really happy that he's around right now. So there's that. And then you know, I'm just hoping that, you know, one day I start to get a lot more bigger, and definitely show you guys more of all this stuff that I've been doing, you know, straight sand, and you know, pretty much going from there. So let's see here. I'm gonna make this all a light on one side. There we go. So what I'm gonna do, I'll just use the existing material. I'll just use the blue light. Make it really easy and simple for now. And then, you know, so that way I don't go through doing the other half this way. I'm just gonna just simply go through. I will go ahead and go not UV right here. Simply take this, we'll delete it, and we're going to go ahead and copy it over again. That way it doesn't, you know, when you go to pull it from one side to another, it won't, you know what I'm saying, rotate out. So we're gonna go ahead and do a full 180 like last time. Now you see it's on this side. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull this out just a bit, right? You see that the mountain on the other side is a little off even. It's a good thing too, because you know, asymmetrical, not everything is symmetrical. So that is one thing that we will never forget. But you don't want to go through that hassle. Press B key. And we're going to size it down. Parts that are there. Also the same thing for this middle piece right here as well. So we're going to go through the insert edge tool. So we only had 2 from last time. Click the B key off. Let me see, did we change music? Oh no, we're still in the same fragments episode. Alright, excellent. Go. Alright, so what we're going to do next, copy these like so. We're going to hit Control G. We're going to group them all together. Got center pivot. When we got done with this, take this and we'll transfer it to these two. This one, right? Control G these together. Center pivot. Take this one that we worked on right here. Make it this own thing. So that way we can add it for details and stuff around the side of the mountain and stuff. Take the same one right here. Use that for right here. Press. And you'll probably laugh once when you see it too, because you're gonna be, you know, a lot of these developers be like, oh, we had to do all this crazy magic stuff. It's only like a couple buttons. So if you have anything cylindrical or anything, you can just simply hit the cylindrical button right here. I'm gonna open this up right here. And what's so cool about it is that it shows you this typology of the mountain. It's like, ooh, that's pretty. Make sure it's in blue, and you'll see. Most of it's in blue. There's some little spots here that are in red, but don't mind the red because it means we're not going to really see it that much. But you can see that you can put like, you know, rock textures in here, and it'll actually like, you know, flatten out, and then just, you know, it's just saying you can actually even relax it even more than this. So I'll just go ahead and do that right now. And I'm going to do smooth UV tool. So we'll just do exactly that. Unwrap, and then let it do its thing. Unfold it. Boom. In size. So you can double it in size that way, and you're done. Then afterwards, you throw the texture on there, put the rock textures and all that stuff on there. So like, say if you want just, I'll put it to you this way. So let's say we go into face mode. Let's do it for this one. So say if you want snow on top of the mountain and you don't want it to look like, you know, just uniformly rock textures and all that stuff. So let's go to face mode right here. What we do, take a piece of that, right? So we're gonna see this right here. We're like, okay, that's gonna look cool. It's gonna look awesome. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cylindrical just that spot right there. And as you can see, it's showing just that spot right there, right? Which I think is actually pretty awesome. But before we do that though, what I normally like to do before we even get to, you know, getting down to get down on that, just unwrap the whole thing first, right? Make sure it's fully done, like so. So we got that nice unwrapped. And let's go ahead and put the UV. And of course, we'll do the same thing like last time. We're gonna fold that bad boy. I mean, you can go as far as to like go like this, and it just fully unwraps. So this is the top cap of the actual mountain, and then this is the rest of it all right here, all underneath. Which I actually like how they, you know, organized it that way, right? So we got all this done right here, right? And what you want to do, go object, click on face again, and then go back. So now that we have it unwrapped right here at this area, it's going to show that it's going to be like, okay, I'm ready to unwrap this part. You can just simply just wrap that part, and it becomes its own piece. Ooh, that's straight neato. So that way you can have like, you know, snow on top of the mountain for one piece, and then freaking for the other it'd be, you know, it'd be regular base of the regular mountain at that point. So in this instance of the mountain, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press Z a couple times, go back, and there it is. Keep it just like that, and then we're just gonna just simply just make it a little bigger. That way it has that nice cylindrical, you know, 3D sphere. Because think of it like this: it's like you're taking a piece of paper, you cut the circle, and then you just flatten it out. And that's how UVs normally work. Flatten it out, and that's how UVs normally work. Ooh, we almost made it to the 2-hour mark. Man, time flies by when you're having too much fun. Alright, so let's see. We got this done. Same thing's gonna happen with this mountain too, but since it's got more of a density, of course it's gonna give us the middle finger like, wow! But we're gonna change that middle finger to that. And then let's see. As you can see with the higher details, now you can see like all the grooves and stuff in there. So the higher you go with the details of your mountains, the more you'll be able to actually see more of it. So let's see, we'll go to UVs, and what we're going to do, of course, every time, yes, we're going to smooth UV that bad boy. Smooth it out as much as you can. to where we see absolutely no red, because if there's red on there, there's going to probably be a little bit of issues with the map. Give it some time. Magic. Alrighty, yep, there you go. Now it's all fully unwrapped. Hopefully you've been enjoying the music. I have, definitely. They've been playing some pretty awesome ones. I really like these fragments. So, like all things though, if you ever create a whole lot of stuff, and you know, you're like, dang man, why is there so much stuff in my attribute editor? Like you see all this stuff right here, and it's like it's on in, on out. Once you've been married to the size and everything that you have right there, right, with the whole poly ring split and all that stuff, just all you gotta do is simply just get rid of not history. And then afterwards, all this stuff right here, all that stuff that you saw just disappears. So if you click on any of the other ones, it's all gone. You see no more. There you go. Just like so. It's all just the one material that's there, which is Lampert, and that's standard for every program is Lampert, especially in you know, Mari and Blender and all this stuff. This one's Maya, of course, but I've had this one for like over 10 years, and I'm like, I don't see no point in freaking upgrading at all. You know, it's just saying, for the fact of it costs a lot of money just to get it. You know what I'm saying? And just, yeah. And I'm not gonna get into all that, but just, you know, dang, got 52. Slow down. Please let me know if anything sounds like it's slowed down, or if it sounds like slurred on your end. That would be much appreciated, because then that way I can try to figure out how to work around that whole ordeal, because I don't know what it is about that whole ordeal that it does that just be like, I'm gonna slow you down and that's it, you know. And then go from there. So we are at the top of 12 o'clock in the afternoon, listening to some awesome music. And this is like a lot of the music that I normally listen to. And, you know, off stream, I listen to a lot of YouTube music, of course, you know what I'm saying. But since, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to bore you guys, at least you're going to have some, you know, nice music to listen to. So, there we go. All right, cool. So now that we got that situated, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to unwrap the rest of these ones. So I'm just going to go to polygons. Custom, since we're in modeling, you go ahead, go to UVs, put that stuff in there, because having that stuff is pretty awesome. All right. Click on here. Oh, so. Oh, we got done with that. Number one thing you should always do though, whenever you work really, really long, because man, that would have been sad. That would have been a sad day. Otherwise, all that work that you would have did was for nothing. Okay. Stress up higher. Make it like a boxy kind of mountain. close to the end. About to play the next episode. So say if we had like a dormant volcano, you know what I'm saying? Just add that little bits in there. And let's see. We'll go there. Got some nice, things going on right here as well. Alrighty. So if you ever wondered how they did all that crazy magic in Legend of Zelda, the Twilight, or no, not the Twilight. There's the Twilight Princess. Of course, they just did the same thing here. What's the newest one that came out? Tears of the Kingdom. That's all they did. They just went, we're gonna extrude this in the bottom. And then they had like this whole other map level out, which was crazy and nuts how they did all that stuff. Of course, you gotta have a huge team to get this stuff done, but thing is that if you're detail oriented like me, you're not gonna worry about, oh, I need a big team to get this. No, you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna do this. You go all in. You be like, we're going all in. Oh, speaking of which, welcome to the second hour of V.A.D.C. ENT LLC, where we go through and we do all this cool, amazing art. And I am so glad that you are here up to this point. I truly appreciate the fact that you are watching here today. It means a whole lot to me. It means not only just a whole lot to me, but also to the other guy that also runs this channel too as well. And straight saying it's pretty awesome that you're still here up to this point, especially if it's player Essence, the main man himself, the freaking Nintendo news god. This cannot I'm messing around, but I mean, he's really good at delivering news. And man, the fact that he was actually here watching my stuff, it means a whole lot. It's like, damn, that's right. So I'm just hoping, straight saying that we get a lot more people to come here, so that way they can view this stuff and they can enjoy the process as much as I do when it comes to this kind of stuff. And good thing is that I got good music. It's not sucky music. So alright, so now we are here at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna go ahead and change to the next fragments. There we go. So there's always something different with these fragments, which I really appreciate the fact that it has a lot of different music. I know it's the same, kind of the same, but at the same time it's not. But okay, let's see. So that being said, oh, okay, I see why it's doing that. Let's go ahead, just turn that off. So whenever there's color on the viewport, for some reason it'll just act like it's taking forever for it to, get done and all that stuff. So that being said, now that we got all this stuff in here, right? We're going to go ahead.
Disclosure Project, and you're listening
and
to Fragments. And this is November.
We're going to go back into the scope world.
Tonight I'm going to be playing a lot of deep house music.
Smooth all this stuff out.
In there. and some up and coming material that's due for release.
So the wireframe is there to help you out to, like, you know, see exactly how it's like affecting everything and all that stuff, which is actually pretty neat in my opinion. I like that feature a lot. But if you want to just see how you're gonna get the mountains and stuff and get that, you know, next level of detail, you just turn that off and you just go ham in there. You know what I'm saying? You just start adding this stuff in there. Which is why with the whole lot of the Legend of Zelda series and stuff, I can honestly say, like, those the fact that they only had like 4 or 5 people working on, you know, stuff at the time when 3D was barely being birthed at the time is absolutely nuts in my opinion, because you had to use some serious brain skill just to, you know, even get this stuff, and then like even make tools and like, you know, default tools, all that stuff as well. And I'm pretty sure the SDK systems at the time, back in the day, they were like, you know, very, very limited with a lot of that stuff. So, you know, now it's like there's no excuse. We got Unreal Engine, we got Maya, we got all these other programs where you just transfer stuff in there, and you know, you get the most bang for your buck, you know. So. Speaking of game engines, you know, it's just saying a lot of the game engines derive from engines, so stuff like this, as you can see, you know, if you wanted to put like special effects and particles and stuff in there, you can. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna be done with this one for now, so that way we don't get bored out and all that stuff. But right now we got all these nice looking mountains. We got 3 so far. 3 biggies, so in that way we can actually, you know, spread them amongst the environment. And one other thing I think I do need to do, since we got these tracks right here, you know, straight saying, what we'll be able to do is make a plane, right? So just leave that be. And now we got 3 different styles of mountains. Like so. We'll keep that one because I like the grand design of it, because you could just simply go through and just make it a wider mountain, and you know, it's just saying it'll make the environment look a lot more grand and be like, ooh, that's pretty. You know what I'm saying? And you know, pretty much go from there. So let's go ahead and I'll smooth this mountain back. And for now, what we're gonna do, so that way we don't burn ourselves out on one full subject, we're gonna go ahead and just move on to another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna simply just save this as Red Mountain Assets, of course. Alright, and what we're gonna do now at this point, you know, just saying what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna back away real quick. There we go. What we're going to do now, going to go through and we're going to make more buildings. So let me go ahead and I'll show you some examples of some of the buildings I did. Let's see some location mods. So we're going to start doing stuff like this. Let's see, did I color this one? I don't think I did. No, I did not. Okay, so this one's gonna probably be a little bit of a tough one to color, but not too much though. Yes sir, I'm good, man. I am definitely good. I am good. Let's see. Are you good? That's the bigger question. So we'll take this and we'll just do just a regular simple basic color for this one. Like solid gray and give it some shine to it. This is not going to be the final result. Let's see what we do. Go face. This one, unfortunately, we're going to have to take time.
exclusive that's coming out on our record label. It's by Universal Solution. It's called Under the Sky. It's from the Change It EP, which is a 2-tracker. I'll be playing the other part later on, which is called Change It. You'll be able to get this in 2 weeks. It comes out exclusively on Tracksource, and that is on November the 26th, so keep an eye out for that.
Is that loud enough? I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end this stream here at 2 hours and 30 minutes, so 9 minutes, and I'll probably be back later.
Fragments.
right, we are closing in at the 3-minute mark. I'm gonna go and grab me some food to eat so I can keep on doing this. I'll probably be back on a little later around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock today. Shantae, Dante.